Alright, so I began this project as it's a Graphghan, or it's going to be, and I was going in and out of the rows with my second color as the pattern told me to do, and this is the second time I've frogged the entire project, because either it was the dark green was either too loose or too tight and it was warping the light green color. So I watched some YouTube tutorials, read some articles, and found a different way to do Graphghans than carrying your yarn. And I'm trying to preserve the little bit of work that I did get done without frogging it again. So I've already cut the green yarn from my working piece, and I'm just going to go through with my tapestry needle and pull out the dark green, and hopefully that will save the work that I've already done and I don't have to repeat it again, because that's not fun. Frogging is not fun. Repeating work you've already done is not fun. It feels like you've wasted your time, and that's not fun. So we're just going to pull this out, and hopefully when I get down to where I attach the dark green, I can figure out how to undo the knot, and I won't have, where's my tapestry needle? There it is. I won't have to destroy anything, and I can just take this dark green out and continue with the light green up until the dark green is needed, and I can do that whole bobbins thing that I learned about. So here we go. We'll see if this works. Okay, so I just pulled out a knot, and I think that's where I attached, from the first time I frogged it, attached my working yarn to the yarn ball again, because like I said, I frogged it the first time. So I do believe that's what that knot is, and not where I attached my yarn originally, because it's attached to itself pretty much. This is getting long, and I want to preserve as much of this as I can because yarn's not cheap. So you want to save every bit that you can. Frogging is difficult in that way as well, because you end up losing yarn, even if it's just a little bit. It makes me sad to have to throw away yarn. Yarn does not belong in the trash. Alright, so this is getting harder to pull out because it's longer. So we're just gonna keep with it. Keep pulling. Being careful not to break me. Oh no, that knot's gonna keep us from pulling it back through. No! Okay, so I'm gonna have to snip off of this knot as close to it as I can get. So clip that off, and we're gonna continue pulling this out as best we can. So if you look here, there's not really another dark green here, so that means that it's attached down here somewhere. So I'm going to pull this out and scrunch it, and then look through my stitches carefully and try to find, because if you look very closely, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there, if you pull the stitches apart, you can see the dark green in between the light green. So I'm going to pull these apart a little bit, look through them, and try to see where the dark green starts in between the stitches. Keep going. I'm going to assume it's closer to the front of these second row, because the first row is the chain and then the foundation row. So where did the needle go? I always lose this thing. Alright, so about here is where I'm seeing a beginning. So that's the tail, and this should be the rest of the yarn here. I'm just going to pull it out of that stitch. I'm going to lose that needle again because that's just what I do. Try to figure out where this knot is, and hopefully I didn't tie it in such a way that it cannot come undone. So I'm gonna fiddle with this for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found the original knot where it's attached. It's right here. Can you see that? It's right here. So I'm gonna stop pulling on it and use my needle to get in between those little crevices in the knot and try to undo it. Okay, so I've loosened up the knot pretty good so far. So I should be able to just take these two crisscross sides and pull them apart little by little. They're starting to fray and split a little bit, so it makes it a little trickier to work with. But there we go. That side, and this part here, and then it's twisted one more time because I'm very, very particular about my knots. I really have a fear of my work coming undone, so I double, triple check that the knots are in place, and I'm going to pull on the shorter end so I don't have to run this whole yarn through the opposite side, and voila, there's our green undone. We just saved a good bit of yarn here from having to go into the trash and saved a lot of progress on our work. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 rows. I'll count properly in a minute. And then we're going to continue working on the graph again, building up the rows. And I'm not sure when you'll see this project again because it is a Christmas present and I don't want to show it until it is finished. But I just wanted to get on here and try to show you that if there's a will, there's a way. Think outside of the box. Hopefully sometimes there's a way to save your progress, save your work. Sometimes there's not, and you just have to frog a piece, and it's sad and annoying and frustrating, but that's just how it works sometimes. And don't be afraid to frog your work if that's what's best for it, because you want it to turn out right. And you're just going to be disappointed at your end result if you continue on and it's not looking the way you want it to look. So that's all I've got for you today. Subscribe, like, do all the things, and I'll see you next time. Bye!